Hey everybody, I'm here in my favorite yellow shirt, and I just had to do a video on this topic. This is, I love talking about polarity. I love talking about feminine communication and masculine communication and leading and submission and all that stuff. But kind of ironically, the topic that I'm going to be, which is related to all of these things, is really my favorite and most passionate thing to talk about. And it's about meeting all of your partner's needs. And the reason that I'm so passionate about it is because I used to be so selfish and so self-focused, and not caring to meet my wife's needs, right? And that caused so many problems in my relationship. And it was because I had this mindset, and this is like, okay, now I'm going to tell you this topic will actually piss me off, right? Actually talking about, I can feel anger when I talk about it, because the reason why is because what really flipped things for me, and two big things that really flipped things for me. One is when my wife, when I had a conversation with my wife, and for the first time, she was fully 100% emotionally vulnerable with how she had felt by me not meeting a lot of her needs before in our relationship. And like, I just never felt so connected to her in that moment, because I didn't understand her pain, right? I didn't understand that pain on that level. I didn't understand how much I had hurt her so deeply. And so now I feel that in other people, right? And I also feel it because ironically, what also happened to me is there was one point in our relationship where my wife was really resistant to meeting my needs. And it was because she had gotten so hurt to the point where, she just felt too disrespected to want to meet them. And and that was at a point where I was finally trying to really go out of my way to meet her needs. And so I really felt deeply hurt, right? So in a short period of time, I finally felt what it felt like for my needs not to be met, because women and my wife, including my wife, had always wanted to meet my needs, and I was the selfish one. And so I couldn't understand it on that level, how it really felt. Guess how it feels? It feels like fucking shit, right? And most people have been in that situation where their needs aren't being fully met. There isn't that full reciprocation. And it feels absolutely terrible, right? So there is that, and then combined with me actually feeling how my wife felt because she was expressing it to me vulnerably, right? Fully emotionally responsibly, not blaming me or anything, just fully. And that really like killed me. Like, I felt so much remorse and shame for having hurt her that way. And I should feel those emotions. I should feel like a piece of shit, because I was a piece of shit. Okay. And so it's good to actually feel those emotions when you realize that you've been selfish and not meeting your partner's needs. So there is this mindset that so many people have of, like, I'll meet your needs when I feel like it, when it feels good for me. Right. And it's a really independent mindset. Like, you meet your needs when I'm not meeting them. And when I feel like I'm in the mood for meeting them, then I'll do it. Right. And that's not a healthy relationship. It's certainly not a polarized relationship. And I would go so far as to say that's actually a really toxic, unhealthy relationship and mindset to have. So the healthy mindset is an interdependent mindset where you, like, as a man, right, you feel a sense of responsibility for wanting to meet all of your woman's needs, right? You want her to feel cared for and cherished and valued. And I didn't have that sense of responsibility for most of my marriage, right? Like, and it's not even that my wife asked a lot of me. Like really basic things like wanting to, go to a friend's wedding, for example. I just didn't want to. It just didn't feel like fun to me. And so for men, a big part of the problem, just so I can clarify this, part of it is some for men, sometimes they're selfish. The other part of it is that they don't feel that desire because they're being led in some kind of way, right? And if they're being led to meet their woman's needs, they're not going to want to do it. So as a man, the most important thing that you need to be doing is you need to lead your woman into respecting you, into letting go of control, into not leading you in any way, into feminine communication. And then for most men that aren't so, you know, like sociopaths, you're going to feel a increasing desire to want to meet your woman's needs, right? And of course, like there's like the most important need for a woman is to actually be led, like to be led with devotion. But, you know, what I'm talking about is more just she needs to feel reciprocation, right? She needs to feel that devotion, that you care about her and that you care about, you know, her feeling, you know, valued in the relationship in whatever way that is. And then for a man, right, it's a woman that is essentially submitting to his leadership, right? Because he's not going to be expressing his needs, or he shouldn't be, by expressing all of his feelings, right? He should be expressing his needs by telling his woman what he wants, right? Leading her so that she can submit to what he wants. And obviously in that leadership, if he's devoted, then he's also considering what she needs in that. So so here's a situation that I have heard by, actually, I'll say most of my male clients that I've worked with. And it's this idea that women should like only have sex with a man when they feel like it, right? It's like, I'm just not in the mood. I'm just not feeling like having sex. So I'm just not going to do it. So from my mindset, I'll say my mindset first. If my wife really needed sex, like she just felt horny and just really needed sex from me, I don't care how tired I am, right? I'm gonna do it. Like if I know that she's gonna feel like it's something that she really needs, and she'll feel like hurt if she's not, you know, and she's being responsible, right? She's not blaming me or anything. If it's something that she needs, of course I want to do that, because I really care about how she feels and I care about meeting all of her needs. And so, you know, that is like a 100% given for me. But what a lot of women will do, right? A lot of men will think that, you know, if a man is not leading a woman to be respectful and get her out of trying to lead, then a man is going to eventually become increasingly selfish. That's just a given. I've seen it over and over again. Also, if women don't have any self-respect for themselves and continue to submit to totally undevoted leadership, then they're going to attract those selfish men as well, right? That's the other piece. So, but what I have come across again and again is women who, you know, believe that, you know, they should just be able to have sex only when they're really in the mood, right? And that's a fucked up mindset, right? That's a really selfish, fucked up mindset. And I'm going to call it out, because really men don't have that many needs. They need to be respected. They need to be the one that's leading. They need to be received, right? Like they need to have their leadership received. They need to feel that. And they need sex. And sex is actually kind of a culmination of all of that, because if a man is leading to have sex, right, you know, that if she's not receiving him, if she's not caring about that need, then none of his needs are being met, right? It's not just the sex. It's the fact that she is resistant to his leadership. It's the fact that she's being selfish and doesn't care about what he actually needs, right? And so there's, of course, a really big difference between a man feeling entitled to sex, right? Like that sense of entitlement, because a man and a woman, nobody should be entitled to anything, right? Everything essentially that's given in a relationship is a gift. But when there's two healthy people in a relationship, two actually healthy people that are not selfish, that are not just caring about their own needs, that actually are, you know, open and believe that the other person's needs are just as, and needs and feelings are just as important as their own, right? You're going to be in a situation where, you know, a woman is going to want to like just be open and receptive to a man's leadership to have sex, unless of course, you know, like if she's has bad cramps, or you know, like she's really having a hard time with her period and headaches and all that stuff, that's totally different. But even in that situation, let's go into that situation. If she says no to that, right, like, no, I don't want to have sex with you, what she's actually doing is denying a man's greater need to be the leader and to be the one that makes those decisions, right? Because all a woman would have to do with a good man, with a devoted man, is to say, like, oh, like, I am feeling so, like, I have such a horrible headache right now and really bad like cramping. And what's a devoted man going to do? Like, if he knows that he's going to create a worse experience for her, right, make her a lot worse off, he's not going to want to have sex with her anyway, right? So he's going to say, okay, no problem, I didn't realize you feel that way, you know, can I get you anything, right? And so even though his need for sex isn't being fulfilled in that moment, his need of feeling like the leader, of feeling like the man in the relationship is being met. He gets to set his own boundary for himself and be like, no, you know what? I don't even want to have sex anymore because I don't want to, you know, I just want to make sure that you're feeling good, right? So this is a really sensitive topic. It's going to be a really triggering topic, especially for women, and especially for women that have been, you know, like sexually abused, for example, in childhood, or with partners, have been coerced into sex in some kind of way, in whatever capacity. So if you're feeling triggered by this, I get it. I get it. It's a big, it's a heavy topic, but I want you to be thinking about the deeper layer here of, like, do you, like, be really radically honest with yourself. Like, for women that are like just really already heart open and submissive and feminine, you know, this video isn't even that much for you, because you're probably, your issue is probably very different, where it's like you're not honoring your own heart a lot of the time, right? So, and I do a lot of videos on that. This video is actually more for selfish women and men as well, because I'm talking about what a woman needs too. But it's more for women that are on the selfish spectrum, right? The independent spectrum, right? Where it's like, you know, I'm going to meet your needs when I feel like it. Really, do you actually deeply care about your partner and what he needs? Because if you do, if you truly do, and you know, if you don't, okay, at least be honest, be self-honest about it. Just don't bullshit yourself. Be really honest and ask yourself, do you actually care deeply about what your man needs? Because if you did, if you do, and, you know, he's not, you know, and he's actually caring about you too, like he's actually going out of his way to do things for you and to make you happy, and working on himself and all that stuff, right? So you can feel there's that level of reciprocation and respect from your end. Then why the hell would you not want to fuck him, right? Why wouldn't you want to do that? And so for me, like, this is my big passionate topic now, more than anything, is meeting both partners really having this strong desire to want to meet each other's needs, right? When my wife is able to just be vulnerable and not blame and not do any of that other kind of stuff and not try to lead, you know, it's the greatest thing in the world to want to meet her needs, right? Why would I not want to do that? Why would any partner not feel a strong desire to want to do that, to make them feel good, and let go of their own wants in the moment, right? Their own selfish wants, right? If I'm working, you know, let's say I'm like working outside all day and I'm tired, you know, and my wife really needed something, I'm gonna do it. Like assuming that she's being respectful and not trying to lead me to do it. I'd want to do it and I'd feel really good about it. I just need to be approached in the right way, because it feels so fucking good to really meet her needs when there is that respect there. Right? So ask yourself, if you don't want to meet your partner's needs, right? If that's like really not on your high priority list, it's not really important to you. Why is that? Are you just a selfish person? Do you need to work on being less selfish? Or maybe it's because there's built up resentment there because of something your partner did. Maybe it's because of past trauma that's happened in your life, right? And then you're just kind of, you can't move past that yourself. But realize that when you are not meeting your partner's needs, you're hurting them all the time, right? You're just going to continue to hurt them more and more over time, the more that you are letting your partner's needs go unmet. And for men, this really means like fucking lead, like fucking lead all the time. Because first of all, your woman's greatest need is to be led, whether she's aware of it or not. But then second of all, you know, you need to be focused on like, you're not going to feel good about meeting her needs or other needs unless you're the one that's leading, right? So that's why it's so important. Before a man can truly be devotional, he needs to find his balls, right? He needs to find his balls and tell his woman, you know, like make judgments on what his woman is doing, right? Give directives about what he wants her to do or to stop doing, like, right? Make boundaries. Lead her into being vulnerable, into being emotionally responsible, because otherwise you're just going to feel like a slave doing anything for her, right? So that dominance, that leadership, that comes first. And then when she is really being respectful, unless you're a sociopath as a man, why the hell would you, like, of course you're going to want to meet her needs, right? If you have any sense of honor and you have an open heart at all, you're going to really want to meet your woman's needs, right? When she's submissive, when she's vulnerable, when she's respectful, it's going to feel good to do it. And you know, then for a woman, you know, it's the same kind of thing, right? When you're able to just let go of control, let go of your own kind of stuff that's going on, like open up about your trauma, open up your heart, be vulnerable, be radically honest emotionally with your man. Why would you not want to meet his needs, right? I really cannot harp like too much on this, because it is such an important topic, and it's so important how men and women meet each other's needs really differently. But you have to get out of this independence mindset. You've got to. And I am the king of the independence mindset, right? Because I've been there, I've lived it my entire life. I thought that was the healthiest way to be. No, it's toxic. It's just as toxic. No, okay, being codependent is probably more toxic, but I mean, it's really still toxic in a relationship. If you want to be independent and just meet your partner's needs when you feel like it, then you're neglectful. You're a neglectful partner. You really, I don't think you should be in a relationship unless it's set up that way and you're both on board with just not meeting each other's needs. But then it's more of like, you're more like roommates just fucking, right? That's more what that kind of relationship is. And that's, I don't really consider that healthy, but as long as both partners are on board with it, then fine, whatever. But you know, a truly healthy, polarized relationship is where a man is fully devotional to his woman and he feels that sense of responsibility of, I want to meet all of your needs. You know, I want to take care of your heart. I want to cherish you. I want to love you. And for a woman, it's, I want to submit to your leadership. I want to let go of control. I want to just fully be able to trust you that, you know, you'll take care of me and love me. And I'll do, you know, I'll follow your lead. Right. And that's it. Both partners end up getting all of their needs met, their most important needs and their other, you know, periphery needs, and a whole bunch of their wants as well. Right. That is when a relationship is truly healthy and truly beautiful. Now, if you want this, right, like that sounds really good. Like, oh my God, that sounds like a, well, maybe not sound really good for some people that have a lot of trauma, but for most people that follow me, that sounds really good. That devotional, submissive union relationship where both partners' needs get fully met. If you want that, I really recommend booking a call with me. Go to my website, relationshipofyourdreams.com. Whether you're a man or a woman, I have the Dominant Man Academy for men. I have the Radiant Woman Academy for women. And we teach you how to create this in your love life. If you're getting a lot less than what I'm talking about, if you're not getting your needs met, right? Your needs are not getting met either as a man or as a woman, and you're feeling hurt and you're feeling frustrated and you're feeling like there's a lack of reciprocation. You feel, maybe insignificant in the relationship. If you're a man, you feel like really emasculated. If you're a woman, it might just be that you feel unsafe, you feel uncomfortable in the relationship, you feel unclaimed, and you're just not, you just don't get how to create that relationship. Well, the amazing thing is that by you doing your own work, your other partner is almost, if you have a partner, they're almost definitely going to reflect it and start reflecting it, right? Or if you don't have a partner, you're going to start attracting the kind of partner that is reflecting that, and you can have that amazing relationship. So it's really all up to you. It's really all up to you making that choice to really change and become the best version of yourself that you can be, right? The kind of person that wants to meet all of your partner's needs, and you're also willing to honor yourself, right? You're able to honor yourself at the same time. So you're not a doormat and you're also not selfish, right? As a man, you're dominant and fully devoted to your woman. And as a woman, you are radiant and fully vulnerable and emotionally responsible, submissive. Everybody gets their needs met, and that is beautiful. And that's what I want to teach you. So relationshipofyourdreams.com, book a call with me. We'll find out if you're right for the program, and we'll go from there. Thanks for tuning in.